I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, thank you. How are you doing?
I am doing well, thank you. So I will just dive right in. I mean, Aisha is one of the few newbies on the scene who adjusts to Bayside almost immediately and really isn't afraid to be kind of her bold and unique self. So tell me about what you hope the cultural impact will be of just portraying her and being this fierce and the first Afro-Latinx person regular on this iconic show.
Thank you. It means the world. It's never lost on me the gravity of the importance of representation, and specifically as an actress who's been in the industry since I was 3 and always known that this is something that I wanted to do. One of the main reasons that I wanted to create stories and uplift narratives was because I never saw myself on screen. You know, I'm an Afro Latina and I'm so proud to be a part of the Latinx community and so proud to be Black, and I never saw my intersectionality. And unfortunately, when I did see remnants of myself on screen growing up and when I was younger, it was perpetuating stereotypes, people that I couldn't always relate to. So the fact that I get to play a character that is this multi-dimensional Afro-Latina woman who goes for what she wants and is bold means the world to me. And I pray that people can watch and feel that nostalgia and the comedy of the original, but also feel empowered by this new one in reinvented ways. So it really means the world, and I pray that people specifically that look like me, Afro Latina girls, can know that they can achieve whatever they want. And even if it's, a male dominated place or a place that they feel doesn't have space for them, that they are more than capable achieving whatever they'd like.
Yes, absolutely. And I will just say, it definitely comes across on screen. I love, love, love that Aisha is just on unapologetically herself in every scenario, especially from day one, when she hits the ground running at Bayside. So I will say, how does Bayside really grow Aisha as a character as this season continues?
Yeah, for sure. I think something really interesting about Aisha is that initially coming to the school, she has negative ideas about it. She's like, this is not for me. These are not my people. They are privileged. They got way too much money. And I know that I've personally felt that way. And a lot of people of color can relate to those sentiments about being in certain spaces. And I think it's really interesting to see this shift. She sees herself really grow in this school in unconventional ways, and she ends up getting way more involved than she would have expected to and falling in love with this school in more ways than one. So it's a great ride, and it's cool to see her coming of age at this school that she initially thinks wasn't made for her. And it's a truth to be told in a lot of marginalized communities of individuals being in spaces that aren't directly made for us, but she paves the way for herself, and she is adamant about being resilient and being authentic to who she is. She never forgets where she comes from, and I think that that's a important component as well. So it's a fun ride, but I think it's really funny to see the flip on day one. She's like, I'm not for this, these are not my people, and then she falls in love with it there and gets along with people more than she would have thought she would have.
And you know what? It's funny because she's not alone in this journey, right? So she still has kind of her day ones from the original school. So do you think that this kind of shift, the immediate shift, honestly, for her, do you think that this type of like immediate shift and growth will cause any conflict or challenges, in terms of the dynamic of her friendships with Daisy and Devante as the season progresses?
Absolutely. With anything new in life, that causes people to shift perspectives and shift what their relationships may be with other people. And we definitely see that with Aisha. Daisy, who is played by the beautiful Haskidi, is, my Latina other queen on the show. And it's really interesting to see them find themselves in opposite ways at the school. And there's definitely a stress put onto their relationship, but it's beautiful to watch them always come back home to each other because their friendship always reigns true at the end of the day. But yeah, it's definitely exciting to see, and Aisha's relationship develop with Devante in a new way, and learning that no matter who you are, there's always implicit biases that you need to check of yourself. And there's always growing on a personal level that we can each do. And I think we see each character do that in a way throughout the season and throughout their journeys.
Yes, well, I cannot wait to see more. I will say something that did catch me off guard was that, Aisha is on the football team, which I didn't expect from her. So, will we get to see kind of more of Aisha on the football team? Because right now they are struggling. Slater cannot get them to do anything, but she is a powerhouse. So, will we get to see more of that as the season progresses?
Absolutely. And it's been one of my favorite parts about being a part of the show. Not only is she this outspoken, eclectic young woman, but she goes after what she wants, even though she's met with discontent, you know. And as we know, that is a male dominated sport in the world that we live in today. And she's met with some backlash about it when she expresses her wanting to be on the team. And I think people are going to love her dominating the field as we watch the season progress. And as an actress, it was so much fun to explore that physicality of playing that sport and, this really beautiful feminist triumphant story of this young lady going after what she wants, even though people are maybe looking at her a little crazy for wanting to play football.
Well, I'm hoping that what Coach Slater realizes is that he has a diamond in the rough in Aisha on the team. He actually needs to kind of support that. And maybe seeing as that, kind of Jessie Spano previously was kind of the most feminist, iconic character in the original series, hopefully she'll get some support from her guidance counselor in that regard too about joining the football team.
Yes. Okay. She's like, you got into the writing room with these ones. Maybe you'll see some of that. I think most people will be very pleased to the reaction that she gets after people put some time in and really check themselves and notice that they have a talent on their hands. So I think it'll be fun for people to watch.
Well, I can't wait to see. And so, lastly, my final question, I would be remiss if I did not talk about the original. Obviously, the original is iconic, and I had such a fun time watching it growing up. But you guys are doing your own thing, and it's brand new, and it's a fresh take. And you guys are really making every character your own, specifically Aisha. So, I will say, kind of, what is the original, or who is the original character, rather, that you loved the most growing up, and who did you identify with?
It's such a great question. I think it's very important to note to people that this is a continuation and definitely a reinventing of the show. I think it's going to give people moments and Easter eggs that they left from the original, but we are definitely a new type of show with a new tone and different conversations. But me specifically, as a kid growing up watching the show, there were a lot of components I loved. I love that Mario was a Latino on the show. I love that Kelly was super feminist and vocal because I think I was, my mom has always called me a rebel with a cause, like the girl that we needed to shut up about. like some advocacy thing because she already gave a dissertation about it at the dinner table. So I definitely connected with Kelly on that. And then, Lisa, she was a Black woman who was bold and beautiful and held her own in these group of kids. And that was something that we really lacked to see at the time. So I definitely connected to her on 1,000 ways. So I don't think Aisha is any type of character from the original. I think she's definitely her own entity. But I, as an individual, definitely was inspired by different characters on the show. So it's awesome.
Well, I love that. And I absolutely cannot wait to see more of Aisha's journey this season and to see you in more content. So just thank you so much for chatting with Nerdophiles. We really appreciate it.
Oh, such a pleasure. You have a blessed day. Talk to you hopefully in the future.
Yes, yes. Have a great day as well. Thank you.